Well, hello everyone. It's Chef Jazzy John. I'm back once again. Hope everyone is doing great on this beautiful fall day. So once again, I'm here to honor Spanish Heritage Month. So on today, we're going to do a classic Mexican chicken tortilla soup. It is so good, you will see. So as usual, let's just get right into it. Let's get started. So we're going to start off. We have 2 ancho chili peppers. If you're familiar, they feel kind of dried out. And then next we have a can of fire roasted tomatoes. I bought the diced kind. We have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I have 1 chopped onion, a rather large onion that I chopped. And then we have 4 cloves of garlic, which basically I did 2 tablespoons because I'm allergic. And then we have 8 cups of chicken broth, low sodium chicken broth. And then we have a pound, about a pound and a half of shredded chicken. So what I did with the chicken, we'll start there, is that I basically boiled some chicken breasts, and I added some cumin and some chili powders, things like that while I was boiling. And then I took them out and I just pulled them apart with 2 forks of shredded. Okay? All right, so let's get started. I am so excited about this recipe today. So let's get started with our first step. So we take our ancho peppers, chili peppers, and just kind of hold them over the fire. This is actually fire roasting them. And basically what you're doing is making them more pliable, softening them up. Don't get it too close, just a nice heat. You see they're starting to loosen up. So we're gonna do a couple of those. And then we're gonna just set them aside till they cool off. So we're able to cut them, work with them, I should say. And then as far as working with them, we're gonna cut them open, and we're gonna take the seeds out, and we're gonna take off the stem at the very end. So that's one. Okay, so I'm gonna do another one. So basically this is all it's doing. And like I said, if you want to, if you feel more comfortable, you can actually just put them in a cast iron skillet, kind of turn them around a few times, and you'll definitely still get the same results. But this is just in a time-honored method right here. That's why they call it fire roasting. So that's what we're doing right here. Actually got 3 in here, but I'm going to use 2. Okay, so I know that they're soft, but just a little bit more. And then I'm going to just let them cool off. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to just let those cool off. Okay, so next we're going to take our fire roasted tomatoes and we're going to put them in a food processor, or what I have is actually my NutriBullet. Excuse me a second. Okay, so we're going to put all that juice in there and the fire roasted tomatoes. So we just start right there. We're going to set that to the side. And then next, what's going to be going in here will be the ancho chilies once they cool off, and then I can work with them. Okay. So next, we're going to take our pot. We have a large pot, soup pot, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to put in our 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to turn my pot on. Okay. So we're gonna let the oil heat up for a minute, and then we're gonna put in our 1 large chopped onion, and we're gonna let this onion saute for a few minutes. I'm gonna say about 5 minutes, and if you need more time, then we'll do more time. You want to make sure that they get soft and like translucent. Where you get all the flavor out of it. Okay. So next would be the olives. Oh my God, the garlic. I must have olives on my mind today. So they are beginning to soften up. You can already smell the strong onion smell. Okay, I'm gonna sit my anchovies over here for a minute. Like I said, this could take 5 to 10 minutes. One thing I always say about cooking is don't be in a hurry. Cooking is a passionate exercise. I call it exercise therapy. For me, a little bit of work, but I love my job. I love what I do. I love pleasing people. I love to see them smile. I love to see them full. So also in honor of Spanish Heritage Month, I hope you guys have been honoring famous Spanish people doing things around town. There's been so many festivals and things like that. I actually haven't had a chance to go to any of them, but I see them on the news. So now the onions have gotten softened and they're nice and brown and translucent, you can see. So now I'm going to add in my garlic. If you're a regular viewer of mine, you know that I'm allergic to fresh garlic, unfortunately. So I always have to buy the garlic that's already chopped. But right now, this is smelling so wonderful. So next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna let that simmer for a couple of minutes. Then we're gonna just set the pot to the side. Okay, so now the garlic is smelling great. It has softened up. So once again, you can take a look. So if you see any of that brownness, that's all goodness. So we want to get all of that. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to sit this pot to the side for a second. And then we're going to cut up our ancho chilies. And we're going to get everything prepped and ready to go. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm actually going to move my whole little portable stove here to give me more room. And then, so you'll be able to see as I cut up the ancho chilies. Okay, get my knife. So we're gonna just put them on this little cutting board here. And we're gonna just cut them. Well, let's do it this way first. We're gonna make sure we get the seeds out. So I'm gonna just put the seeds right in this little tray right here. So they open right up and the seeds fall right out. Okay? See, as you can see, the seeds fall right out. You hear them falling right into the little tray. And then we also going to discard the stem. There's a lot of seeds at the bottom. So then it just stretches right out. Okay, left a couple little seeds on there. There we go. So that's one half. Okay, let's just do a double check. That's the other half. So now I'm going to do the other pepper. Same way. I'll just cut it. Let me move my container so you can see. Just kind of cut it down the middle there. And the seeds basically just fall out. Like so. Just make sure you get all the seeds out. Okay, so now we're going to do the other half. And don't forget, we're going to take the stem off. So the stem is on this half. We're going to take the stem off. If you want to, you just cut the stem off. That makes it a little quicker. So now I have all the seeds out. So I have my two halves, a few more seeds. Make sure you clean all your seeds off. Okay, so now I'm going to just take my little cutting board here. This is my little portable cutting board. Put all the seeds in there. And then we can take the ancho chilies and then we can just slice them. So what's going to be happening with these are they're going to be going into the food processor. So you want to make sure you chop them up, slice them up pretty small. But once they get into there, they're going to be sliced up really well anyway. So now, okay, we're almost done with our two ancho chili peppers. These things have such great smoky flavor. You can use them in all kind of dishes. So now, we're going to pour those. We're going to put that right into the little container that we're going to be pureeing. And then now, I'm going to take my onions and garlic, and we're going to put all of that right in the container. So we're going to puree all of this together. Now, can you imagine what kind of taste this is about to be? A nice, smoky, garlicky, oniony, just wonderful, fragrant flavor. Okay. So after we puree it, we're going to pour it back into this pot. So I'll be bringing my little portable stove back over. So now we're going to just sit this over here. Okay, and we're going to puree it. Okay. So you already have your juice from your tomatoes. So let's put it right in there. Now I'm using the NutriBullet, so if you have a food processor or a blender, that's even better. Okay, so it's gonna be a little loud for a second. All these flavors are marrying together. Okay, so now let me clean up my little mess right here. Okay, I'm done with the cutting board. So remember, this is what the ancho chili peppers look like. Okay, so now we're gonna bring our pot back over. I love cooking Mexican food. It just has so much character to it. Okay, so now we're just going to take this off and pour this into our pot. It's almost like some tomato soup. So we're gonna cook this down, let it get a little thicker until it's almost a tomato paste consistency. Let me get all this goodness out of here. And my little blades here, okay. Okay. So on medium heat, we're gonna just stir it a little bit. Until it thickens up and kind of gets a little darker and a little bit thicker. So now once this starts cooking, it's gonna bubble. As a matter of fact, when you put it into the pot, turn your pot on that way to have a little sizzle to it, like when you first turn it in there, and then it's gonna get like a dark red color, and you're starting to smell the fragrance. So you wanna cook it till it's almost like a tomato paste. So let me let you take a look. You see, alrighty, there we go. So we're gonna just stir that around for a few minutes until it gets to the proper thickness that I would like to see it. Like I said, you want it to be basically like a tomato paste. Here I have my music playing in the background, my Spanish jazz in the background. So now what we're gonna get ready to do is we'll be adding in our chicken broth. So this right here is only 4 cups. So I have another package right here that I'm going to prepare. I just didn't want to be picking up the cup and I was far away. So we're going to pour all 2 boxes in there. It's usually kind of hard to find, and like I said, this is reduced sodium chicken broth. So it's usually hard to find the larger, low sodium chicken broth in the larger container. So I just did 2. Okay, so now it's bubbling really nice. It looks really good. So this is your foundation to your soup. Okay, so we want it to just get slightly darker in color, which it has, and it resembles thickness of loose tomato paste. So remember that. So once you have your pureed tomato mixture, tomato, ancho chilies, onion, and garlic, like right now, it is perfect, it's thick. So I'm gonna start adding in my chicken broth. And I'm just gonna put all of it in there. So at this time, you wanna add your salt and pepper. So basically, I always tell you guys, you know, salt your taste, so it's about a teaspoon of salt. About a teaspoon of pepper. If you want it spicy or whatever, you can add. You can do more. You can even add some jalapenos in it if you like. So we just stir that up. It's just a nice, beautiful orange color. Make sure you can get to see that. There we go. So we're gonna let this get a little thicker for a second. So at this point, you're letting the mixture simmer for about 20 minutes. Just let all those flavors marinate in, the ancho chili peppers and the onion and the garlic and the fire roasted tomatoes. So a good 20 minutes. So now let's discuss the other part of this recipe. So I use kale greens. You could use kale or you could use collards. I chose the kale just because I chose the kale over collards. And then we have some cheese that you're going to be putting on top of your soup, and some fresh lime. And also I'll be putting the juice of about a half a lime in this towards the end. And then we have our avocados, which I'm also allergic to, but we still have them, and some cilantro. So all this is basically going to be topping for your soup. So we're going to just let this simmer for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to add everything in. Once again, I have loved this month. Mexican food is basically my #1 favorite food. I love Mexican food. I love the spices, the colors, the flavors, just everything about Mexican food. Okay, so now we're gonna add in the kale. And basically I bought one bunch of kale, and I kind of chopped them up, not real fine, but just cut them up real nice. I'll say a large chop. So if collards is your favorite green, put in collards. So this also gives your soup some color, some texture. So I'm gonna put this in here, let that stir maybe about 3 or 4 minutes just to get soft. And then will be the chicken, and we're gonna take a break and come back, and we'll have it all plated, and we'll be ready to taste. So now I've let it boil a little bit. So now it's down to a simmer, as you guys can see. So with the greens and all the flavor, it tastes wonderful. I've been tasting already. So now we're gonna add in our chicken. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so it can just simmer. You know, your chicken's already done, so you don't wanna overcook it or anything. So now we're gonna just add in our chicken. I will leave it up for a second just so all the chicken get heated and get stirred up and all that in there. Okay, this is looking very good. Chopping up my kale a little bit more. This is a wonderful fall time soup. Okay, so now I got my chicken in, I got all my kale, my greens in. So now I'm going to take the juice of a half a lime. This is a quarter of a lime. And squeeze that in there. Okay, and then I have one more. And it gives it that last final little bite. So next, I'm just let this simmer down for a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back, and we'll be ready to plate this wonderful, wonderful Mexican tortilla chicken soup. Chicken tortilla. So we are back for our final plating. I decided to leave the pot on the stove so you all can see me actually make my final bowl. So with chicken tortilla soup, you can do it one of two ways. You can either put your cheese and your lime and your avocado and your parsley. You can actually put it in the bowl first and pour the soup over it, or you can put the soup in first and then sit all that on top, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my ladle. Let me let you guys see first basically what it looks like. You can see the nice greenery. Okay, so I'm going to take my ladle and put me a nice little drop in there. Nice little scoop. Give me some of that kale. Okay. And then you're going to put some tortilla chips, because that's what it is. Now, I could have actually bought some, I could have actually fried them myself, but to save time, I decided to just buy some tortilla chips. So now I'm going to add in, I should put my cilantro in first. I didn't, but it's okay. I'm going to mix it all together anyway. So I'm going to put the cilantro there, and then I'm going to put me a little scoop of cheese right on top. Sorry for the fingers. And then I may even put me a little bit more tortillas. And then I'm going to put me a piece of lime on it. I'm actually allergic to avocados, but I'm going to put a couple on here just for the sake of showing you all that that's what I did. Okay. So this is the beautiful soup. Chicken tortilla soup. So let's take a taste. I'm actually going to take the avocados out because I am allergic. And I love avocados. Let's take a taste, mix everything together. And the tortilla chips, you can also even crush them up and put them on top if you like, almost like crackers. You just take and mix everything together. I have my see-through bowl so you have to see. You can put as much tortillas on it as you want, as much cheese as you want. Break up some of the tortillas in it. And also, I can also say that if you want to, you can also add some cilantro in it if you like to. But it's really good. Really, really, really flavorful. So once again, we have created a very special dish in honor of Latin Heritage Month. And with all this great food, I'm gonna wash it down with, excuse me so much, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna wash it down with Chef Marquita's. Remember Chef Marquita from last time? She actually made me some more margarita for today. She was going to join us today, but she had another engagement. So I'm going to bring her back next month because she really enjoyed doing it with me. So for now, ciao. I got my music playing in the background. I'm eating well. What more could a man ask for? Okay, till next time, Chef Jazzy John.